What's going on, Marv Meisters?
Oh, you jinxed us, buddy.
Oh, I didn't drink shit. I woke up this morning and Lexi had messaged me and said, "Look out your back window." I got up and looked out the back window and I about shit my pants. I was like, "You got to be kidding me." I had to wake up to this.
So Frank calls me and says, "We have 2 inches of snow. Is it snowing there?" I'm like, "No." Well, then an hour ago, I went outside to have a cigarette. Guess what's happening? It's snowing. You jinxed us. So all of Wisconsin, I'm giving permission for everyone in Wisconsin to blame you.
Sorry, I look like shit this morning, guys. It's been a rough week for me, so I'm here at peace. I want to appreciate everybody for the condolences on the passing of my mother. It's greatly appreciated. I love all you guys. Thanks for the support. It's just going to take a little bit of time.
Let's you called me that day and you told me about your mom, and I'm like, we got to get you to the hospital. And so I got you an Uber. I'm so happy I did.
Yep.
Long time coming.
Yep.
And I put messages out everywhere stating not to bother you, and everybody that I know of
cooperated.
People were contacting me. I appreciate that. I'm still going through messages. I have shared everything with Frank. But we really, really appreciate all of your love and support. Absolutely.
Give me a second.
Yeah, you can turn your camera off. He's doing okay, you guys. He really is. We knew today would be kind of hard. Especially saying thank you for all the love and support. He's got a little bit to go here before everything takes place with the funeral arrangements and everything. So it's going to be a hectic week for him. But we wanted to jump on here and do a live, and there's so many things going on right now with Keegan Klein and Richardallen, and we wanted to discuss that. And we will here in just a minute. Before we start, though, Frank, I just want to say, we've been getting a lot of messages and comments and stuff, and we know you guys are sick of hearing about sources. So we're going to try not to mention that. We get messages of who are your sources. A lot of you know that we are working with Fox 59 and some individuals from there. A lot of YouTubers are getting information from them, and from some of the same people.
Yep.
I can tell you that we have 1 or 2 individuals specific to this channel that do not work with the other channels. But we are not naming those individuals at this time because they have asked us to.
Right.
Once this is all over and there's hopefully convictions,
or at least somebody being held accountable for this horrific crime.
Right. Then those individuals will feel safer and step up.
Yep.
But for now, we're honoring their wishes. So I hope that you all can respect us for that. I can honestly tell you that Frank has his people that go to him with sending him information and everything like that. I have different people that send me information, and I'm so thankful for that, because between the 2 of us, we get a mixture of information and what's happening with the cases. I can share a lot of the articles and the videos on the Facebook group. I'm going to start sharing that on Twitter too. I got to get my Twitter set up on my phone. My bad. I'll do that. because I do a lot from my phone. And so we're going to start ramping things up with, if you're not a member of the Facebook group or Twitter, become a member or subscribe to the Twitter, because like I said, a lot of the information that we're putting out in the Facebook group now is going to start going out on Twitter and in the Facebook group. And we have a lot of great members in that Facebook group that share information with us right on the group page. It's awesome.
I do want to mention one person who has been sticking her neck out for us lately, even though her and Marv had some issues in the past, but apparently they've worked things out. I do want to give a shout out to Angela Lively. She has been sending us information left and right that we can look through and trying to determine what's good and what's bad. Thanks, Angela. Appreciate it.
Yep. And we appreciate all of the people that have been sending us information, articles, videos. We can't see and watch everything. But when we get something sent to us, we definitely watch it. And then I'll share it with everybody else, or Frank will share it with everybody else. So thank you so much for everybody who has been doing that. For the emails, we get it in all forms: emails, DMs, phone calls, text messages. It's all coming through. So we're looking into all kinds of stuff right now. And we're just going strong. So in the next week, there will be a new video coming out on merchandise. The two sisters that are helping us, they have figured out how to take credit card payments, because that was the biggest request that I got. And we're going to streamline the colors and everything that you can get on shirts and designs. We've actually created new shirts,
different colors.
The Justice one that I have, the blue shirt, the Justice one that we got out of a fundraiser. Andrea and her sister Kathy have redesigned that, and that will be up for sale on merchandise. We also have Tabitha Shuck Rains shirts now that will be selling. Oh, Pam, thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate it. So there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and I'm going to show you one of the projects that I've been working on before we start everything today. I have received a lot of information on the Tabitha Shuck Rains case, and I've started putting it in binders. This is binder 1. This is binder 2.
Andrea said, show the tumbler.
Is everything I have to put into binder 2. And I have more information that I have to print out and put probably in a 3rd binder. So as I'm doing that and I'm going through everything, yes, my dear, I'll show the tumbler. And just so you all know, Andrea and her sister are the ones that are doing our merchandise.
She's been a great help also. She's one of our boots on the ground when it comes to Delphi also. So
yes, she does a lot of research for us, and we appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay. So Tabitha Shuck Rains case. You see what I'm doing there. I've got a lot of reading to do. There's videos going to be coming out. There's live streams going to be coming out. We're actually interviewing some individuals on that case. So that is really, really starting to
pick up a little bit, yeah. We got an individual that we're interviewing tomorrow that was actually involved in Tabitha's trial. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what she has to say.
Exactly. Okay, hang on one second here.
We do a lot of researching, people, as Olivia said. That's a ton of info. Yes, we just about every case that we work on, this is what it is for us. Get documents and putting everything together, and
Yeah,
that's what we do.
And not only that, I'm in an archive site now. I bought a membership to it so that I can get all of the news articles on it too. So it's a lot of, it takes a lot of time to do that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you go into Google, you might have 2 or 3 articles on the Tabitha case from 20 years ago, and that's all we could find. So she had to get this website that gets all old archive news articles. So,
okay. Here is the Tumblr. You're going to be able to purchase off of their Facebook group site. It looks cool. I love it. Andrea's done an amazing job. I'm just going to move my screen here for a minute. I have so many emails to go through. So here's one of the designs for Tabitha.
We've already got one of those, don't we? Yeah, we got one of those.
Well, we got the one Mark had.
Yeah.
But she came up with a couple other designs, and I appreciate it because here's another one. Because we really want to get the information out on her case. And it's been slow going, but it's going to be picking up here shortly. So here's another shirt. This picture here, we are also going to put on probably a light gray shirt, because we know not all men are going to want to wear purple, even though it was Tabitha's favorite color. So we'll have the purple shirt for the ladies, and then we'll have another color shirt for the men.
I like the lavender color, actually.
I know you do.
Purple is one of my favorite colors, or a lavender color.
But not all men like that.
Well, I get it from my mom. Purple was her favorite.
You do.
Yeah, it was her favorite color. So, but I will say, when it comes to the prosecutor and it's Tabitha Shuck Rain's case, there was a big ordeal going on with him at the time. Well, now he is prosecuting another gentleman out of Tipton who was charged with murder. And then all of a sudden, Jay Rich, the prosecutor, decides that he's going to let this guy out on bail. It just makes my head spin that what happened to Tabitha Shuck Rain case, and now he's pulling this kind of stunt in this murder case up there right now. So,
and it's not the first time he's done this. So
no,
we have a lot of research to do. And believe me, when that case starts firing up on this channel, it's going to be nonstop because there's 20 years of information coming.
Yeah.
So before we get started on Keegan Klein and Richard Allen, just want to say hi, Roxana.
Freckle Joy, how's the West Coast going, girl? Olivia, Yellow Brick Road.
Yep.
Polygraph, Miss Emily, Wanda, Tough
Jason,
Love, True Crime Housewife.
Good morning, Jill.
I gotta put you on hold. My cousin's calling.
Okay. Ms. Emily, Miss Thing, 65. Hello. Agadan, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Good morning, Cynthia. Or I should say good morning, afternoon. Olivia, Polygraph. Thanks for the 41-hour early announcement for this video. Yeah, we're gonna try to get these thumbnails out earlier. Definitely trying to do that.
Rain Dancer, how's it going? Janet. Who else? We got Jumpin' Jack Flash in here.
Snowing in Iowa. Wow. It's about the effing music. Thank you. Thank you. Ossie's in here.
See
Pam's
Jill.
in here.
Nice
to see everybody. Can't go through everybody like we usually do because we've got a limited time here, but definitely just want to say hi to everyone.
Yep. Marv's going out partying tonight.
No. All of my brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws and I are getting together and with my husband, and it's an adult night, no kids, thank goodness. So we're gonna go out and have a nice dinner and a couple drinks.
Hey, Slopey, it's nice to see you. AP, good afternoon. JD Bambora, nice to see you. Melly.
Rain Dancer. All right, Frank. So let's start with Keegan Klein.
Oh boy.
There's been a lot of
speculation.
Yeah. Some actual facts.
Yeah.
So what is happening with Keegan Klein?
Me and you have discussed this for the last couple of days, and we came up with some scenarios that could be possibly going on. And I thought we might be able to discuss that and talk to the chat and see what their thoughts and opinions are on it. Okay. You know, got to remember back on the 13th of October, Richard Allen got a search warrant done on his property. And then you got exactly 7 days later where Keegan Klein's in his first pretrial hearing up there in Miami County. And then you got 6 days later, Richard Allen's being arrested, and then 2 days after that, he's being arraigned for 2 counts of murder. Yes. Now, to me and Marv, this is no coincidence of how things are taking place right now. I mean, think about it. Keegan Klein has been negotiating since last August, I believe it was.
I believe so.
Or just past last August. And look what's happening. He's already had 5 charges dismissed. He's had 12 amended. And now you got him getting a continuance for his trial from January to May. Now.
And then originally in the week, we heard March, which would be the same time the trial for Richard Allen was supposed to start. But now it's pushed back even further to May.
Sounds like he's working the system to get more charges dropped and get less time in prison. But the reason why we're bringing this up, because it's no coincidence that everything is taking place between both gentlemen at the same time. So it almost seems to me like that Keegan is actually flipping or rolling on individuals that's involved in this case to get more charges dropped. I just don't see him playing a system like that and getting charges dropped if it's not involving the Delphi case. And as far as the probable cause affidavit that is on Richard Allen, me and Marv have discussed on some scenarios that could be going on with that, especially with Becky Patty requesting that the probable cause not be unsealed. Well, me and Marv sat and talked about this for a little while, and there's a couple scenarios that we're looking at here.
And we'll get into more of those in another live.
Right.
There's a few things that we have to check out yet.
Right.
And as soon as that probable cause hits, we'll know more.
I wouldn't necessarily say that because my opinion, what they're going to do is they're going to release it, but they're going to redact it so bad that we're not going to be able to get any kind of information that's going to be useful to us.
True.
So, and the reason I think this is my own personal opinion, I've got 2 or 3 different scenarios. Either there is a name in that probable cause that they don't want released because they're planning to make another arrest. Second, either Keegan Klein has turned state's evidence and he's going to testify against Richard Allen. those are two so far that we've come up with. It's just something that we're looking at the moment. So,
right.
Because you guys got to realize a probable cause is not going to show anything what is at the crime scene or anything. The probable cause, all that is just show reasoning why they issued a warrant for his arrest. It doesn't give details about the crime or anything like that. Just no different than the Ron Logan search warrant. It was just their opinion, information they gathered, evidence they gathered to come to the conclusion that Richard Allen is involved in this case some way, somehow, shape, or form. But you also got to remember, Richard Allen might not be the actual killer. If you guys understand the charging information with 2 counts of murder, then you research the murder definition in the state of Indiana. There was another crime being committed at the time before the girls were murdered. And if Richard Allen was there when another crime was taking place before the girls were murdered, that makes him culpable of murder just like anybody else. Even though he didn't commit the physical crime, he was there, so they're charging him. So they left the charging information wide open to speculate there could be another person involved. We'll just have to wait and see what's going to take place with this probable cause affidavit.
Right. So what are your guys' thoughts on Keegan Klein and the charges, 5 charges being dropped? Do you think that he's finally giving information? I'm just curious to see what everybody's thoughts are.
I don't honestly think that Keegan Klein was there, because if he was, they would have declined dropping any of his charges. He would have been physically involved in the case, so I don't believe he was actually there. Ball hair glued to his face. God, Michael.
Nellie, it's hard to know what to think. There's so many rumors and speculation going out right now. That's kind of why we haven't talked on it. We're taking it all in and trying to verify anything we can. And, it's difficult to know what to believe right now. He's only saying things to serve KK. Could be.
Yeah, that's why it's just speculation, and we're giving our opinions on several different scenarios that could be taking place here. We're not saying it's true. We're just giving some things out there that people need to think about and see what they think.
I think part of the reason that they sealed this probable cause is because there is another name in there.
Yeah.
And they needed that 30 days to investigate this. It's just like It's just like when the narcotics division does a raid and gets information. A lot of times they seal the probable cause warrant right away because there's other names involved. And they have to look into that, and they don't want to tip these people off.
Exactly. Now
So,
let's answer Steve's question here. Why is Richard being charged with just murder when he raped and moved the bodies? Steve, now you got to understand, we don't know for a fact that he committed the actual murder. We don't know if he actually raped them, if he moved them. He just has to be there at the scene when all this is taking place to be charged with murder. He doesn't have to do anything physical at all. That's the way the law is written in the state of Indiana.
right. So, unfortunately, as Doug Carter says, one day everything's going to come out. And he's right. It is. Now, don't hold your breath about March. The trial starting in March.
No.
We know it's going to get delayed, especially with the fact that now Richard Allen has requested a public defender.
Mm-hmm.
That public defender needs time to look into everything. And so we know that the trial date that was set in March is going to get delayed, just like Kegan Klein's has.
Yeah.
there's a good chance it'll go out at least another year before it actually happens.
You see, you got to remember also he filed for a speedy trial. So that means the prosecutors got to get their ducks in a row before that trial date is set or ready for March. And if they're not ready, they're either going to request a continuance, or if the same thing for the defense. If they're not ready, they're going to ask for continuance. Right. And I see that happening. So whether you got a worldwide case, it's all over the place. They're going to take their time with the defense and prosecution on this.
Has been a CI since 2017. Maybe that's why they did let him roam, or maybe they were just trying to get all the evidence and their ducks in a row.
Yes, you're right, Deetra, or is that Draytat? I can't pronounce it. COVID has put a damper on this case also.
Yes.
I agree, Pam. Anybody that's involved in this horrific crime needs the death penalty. What's going on, Joe? Nice to see you, bud.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that are thinking that there's other names.
Yeah, and that's why I think Becky doesn't want to unseal, because there's a name in there she probably doesn't want us seeing. That's just, I'm just speculating on that, guys. It's not facts or anything like that, but there's something in there that Becky doesn't want the public to see.
So, Rain Dancer, in the United States, you can hire your own attorney and pay for it if you have the money to do so. And if you can't, then a public defender is assigned to you.
Yep.
Now, public defenders, they take an oath. They've got a very tough job. A lot of times, they know that their client is guilty, and they still have to put on the best defense possible. And they do get paid to defend these people.
Yeah, they get paid by the state. Yeah. Yeah, Freckle Joy. Go ahead. Yeah, he refused a public defender at the beginning, not realizing what it was going to cost to defend him for double murder charge.
Right.
So he's basically, if he was to hire an attorney, he would have to sell basically all his belongings, his house, his vehicles, the whole works, everything. Just think of the O.J. Simpson trial. He was paying millions to get off on that case. Even though we know Richard Allen wasn't a multimillionaire, but it's going to cost him so much money to hire a private attorney.
Right. So, like I said, the probable cause is going to tell us.
We hope.
Why they arrested him. We hope. Yeah. As far as Keegan Klein now, we're going to have to wait and see, because his trial's been pushed back again.
I think it's a strategic move by the defense on Keegan's part. He's working the prosecutors to get more charges dropped for more information. That's how I'm seeing it right at this point in time. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking right now. So,
and Ketsy, I agree with you about how the girls knew where to be, and I think there's some more shocking information coming.
Yeah, that's why I believe there's a name in there they don't want.
People always forget that people can be involved without being physical on the bridge.
Exactly.
Yes.
See, that's the thing. People have to understand the laws in these states on how they work and how you define them and how you interpret it. So, trust me, guys, I have researched laws for many years to try to understand what they mean and things like that. And this one's pretty simple. In the state of Indiana for murder.
Yes, and the probable cause could be protecting witnesses or people that have given information, and they want to keep that sealed and to keep them safe. Absolutely.
That's why I expect if they do release it, it's going to be redacted like crazy.
Exactly.
So
unfortunately, we're still in this hurry up and wait pattern, you know.
But we've learned here the last few months to sit back and just watch what's going on and take in information and looking at it and see if we can make any sense of it. So we've learned a lot over the last few months when it comes to this case, not to jump to conclusions. I mean,
Right.
things of that nature. So talking about Max Snowberger.
Oops, sorry, we were both clicking on it at the same time.
Trying to understand they were gone before anyone else. What do you mean? I'll see if you can explain what you mean by that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Hi, fangirls. Nice to see you. Rosie for Rivets. Nice to see you.
So let's see. Richard Allen is arrested. He's arraigned and everything secretly. They announce it on a Friday. He's moved right away
to White County Jail, which is the same county that Randy lives in.
Right. And that's by Monticello, right?
No. Yeah, I believe it is. White County is. Well, Randy lives right there in Burlington, I believe, is in White County.
So then the judge seals the probable cause warrant, starts getting all kinds of questions and everything, doesn't have the staff
right
to answer the questions, is getting death threats and everything else, ends up asking for help, and then recusing himself. So then it's, who is the new judge?
Judge Francis Gold.
Okay.
And from my understanding, when I spoke to Fox 59 yesterday, Judge Gold is going to have the hearings and stuff in Carroll County for the time being, from my understanding. And I told Fox 59, I said, I expect to be moved. I said, no one's going to be able to get a fair trial out of Carroll County.
I think as much as they would love to have that trial in Carroll County, there's no way they can.
No, there's no way. Thank you, Andrea, for clarifying where White County is. And y'all also got to remember when Richard Allen wrote that plea, a letter to the judge, he was still in the White County jail when that was written. He written that letter before they transferred him to the Department of Corrections.
Correct. I don't know how that letter got dropped so quickly to the public, but it's definitely interesting.
Yep. He knew once he realized what was going on, there was no way he was going to be able to afford an attorney.
Right. Now, we've heard lots of things, lots of speculation, lots of rumors. We do not have any verification on it about a certain weapon being found with blood on it.
Yeah.
We have no verification on that at all.
Yeah, somebody sent us a message last night or something stating to the fact that they found a knife buried next to the red shed at Richard Allen's house in the backyard. And we'd like, well, we haven't got verification, because as soon as Marv sent me that message, I made my call to Fox 59, and they said, we have no confirmation on any type of evidence that's been found or what they recovered from his house. So, yeah, Julie was at the press conference and Max was with her, guys.
Allen is being charged with the Indiana Code, which is a murder involving a specific underlying criminal offense. Yes, you are correct.
Kidnapping, you could sexual assault, sex trafficking, things in that nature. So Richard Allen fell under one of those circumstances to where he was being charged with murder.
Right. So, we're looking into, is there connections with Keegan Klein, Tony Kline?
Well,
is there connections with other individuals?
We do know that Richard Allen was using an alias, and that alias turned out in Mexico, Indiana, which is also in Miami County. And from my understanding, Richard Allen, he's also used Rick Allen. He's also using Rick Allen, and that's where they got the address for the Peru address. From the information I'm getting, he lived just a couple blocks from Kegan,
right,
at the time.
Cynthia, thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate it.
So, and if that's true, what's the chances of Kegan and Richard Allen knowing each other?
Yeah, we've heard all kinds of things, that Tony knew Richard, Kegan knew Richard. It's just nailing it down and you can live next to somebody and not really know them.
Yeah, just like when we interviewed Kalista Schatz a few months back. She lived right across the street from Kegan and Tony Kline and didn't know him personally. So you could live right next door, live across the street and not know them. I mean, right. You know of them, but you don't know them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they said that during this investigation, this is the largest pedo ring that they have ever found in Indiana that goes into multiple states. So it is 2 investigations, and it has been since the beginning.
Yep.
It's been this ring of individuals that are preying on kids and girls and boys and whatever. And it's the Delphi murder investigation. Absolutely. And they've gotten a lot of funding from the government and stuff to look into this ring.
Yeah.
Because of this case.
Yeah, the grants. Yeah.
So whatever happens, Abby and Libby's murderer is going to be caught, hopefully, and convicted. But part of Abby and Libby's legacy is going to be the education that comes out of investigating this pedo ring and saving other kids' lives. The education that we're going to gain from that is going to be huge. And that's going to be part of their legacy. And I'm happy about that.
I do want to make it clear, we will not talk about family on our channel, guys. If anybody has a question about it or brings the name up, we will not discuss anything about the family.
Shelling out. I'm in the UK, but I'd love to know if these or one of them had something to do with Alicia Navarro. Any idea of distance? Where did the Alicia Navarro case, where is that at in Indiana?
Let me look it up.
Yes, I think that things have really picked up. I think that law enforcement is going through all of the tips to see what they got regarding anything linking these two or whatever. They're getting new tips in. Doug Carter said since that press conference, they got over 200 new tips. So this is full ahead.
The Alicia Navarro case is a 3-year-old missing teen case. She just turned 18 out of Arizona. So it's a 3-year-old missing persons case. If anybody's got any information on that case, if they want to forward it to us so we can start looking into it, it would be greatly appreciated.
Yep. Okay, so the son did know the Klines, but Callista didn't really associate with them. They were her neighbor. That's, you know.
If you
And
go
she
back
told us that in the interview.
Hey, hybrid, if you haven't caught the interview we did with Kalista Schatz a few months back, you might want to go back and check that out. She made it clear that she didn't know the Klines like that. Her son didn't really know the Klines like that. Allegedly, that's what she's told us, but we just don't really know. We know that JP knew Kalista. We believe he also knew the Klines. There's just so many names out there we know had ties with the Klines in some way, shape, or form or fashion. So,
oh yeah, Melly, they found a big ring. I mean, huge. They've been making arrests on it ever since, and it's branched out into a lot of the other states. Huge ring.
Yeah, see, they just had another big bust here in Greenwood where I live.
Yeah.
Another one. That's like 2 or 3 in the last 6 months here in Greenwood.
And I agree, through the network, they may have known each other.
Right.
And that's how a lot of these guys don't associate with each other out in the open. It's all behind the scenes under the dark web. And that's what law enforcement has to connect. And it's not easy to do.
And I am just about 99% positive that Ellie recovered something from Richard Allen's house that tied him to the murders.
Yes.
Something in that house they found.
Well, by the shed, at least. Something.
Yeah, something
in that bag or box or in that those bundles of cloth.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, the dude, if he's smart, he might as well just spill the beans, because you don't want to go to trial. Spill the beans.
I have heard about the carved, I don't know about logos or signature, but something was carved into one of the trees.
Yeah, I've got a picture of what allegedly was carved into the tree. It's a symbol for, I want to say, I can't remember the name of it, but I've got a picture of it. I could send to you what it looks like.
Okay, that would be great.
So,
have you guys heard what the original tip was that Ellie went back to RA? So everything that we're hearing is that, and we don't know if this was a setup or if this was actually true, is that the neighbor reported that some of his tools were stolen and that Richard Allen had them. And they got a warrant to go search for these tools. That's one of them that we've heard. That's the main one we've heard.
Yeah.
Now, in other speculation, we've heard that Keegan Klein started rolling on him and tipped him and talked to police about him. We've also heard that his parents tipped him in.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard that his wife turned him in, which I don't think is true. That's just my personal feeling. I don't feel that she did. With everything going on since his arrest. So we don't know which one is true until that probable cause warrant is released.
Now, remember, Doug Carter said we'd more than likely talk to you.
Right.
Now, there is speculation. We're not 100% positive this happened, but allegedly Richard Allen, at the beginning of this case, when Doug Carter pled to the public saying, hey, if you were out at the trails that day, we would like for you to come in so we could talk to you. Well, allegedly, Richard Allen went in there and told him that, yeah, I was there that day. But what it came out from there, we don't know. So it makes me wonder if that's why Doug Carter said that they were going back and starting from the beginning again.
I wanted to show this. Let me save it
Keegan Klein, you got a point there. I was thinking about that. What if that thing about the tool thing was just a farce to get into his house? Because I've seen some photos of the LE out at his house doing a search out in front of his house, and then you see Tony Liggett pop up, and he has a piece of paper in his hand, which almost to me sounded like it was a search warrant. And then the next thing you know, they're loading up the vehicle on a flatbed truck, taking that out. Yeah, we've got pictures of all that. So,
All right, I got. What the heck?
yeah, Latina, sorry to disagree, but there's all kinds of photos of Richard Allen and his wife out on trails, hiking, and things in that nature. They love the nature. There's all kinds of pictures out there of them doing that. Hey, shelling out, if you could find some photos or a photo of that and send it to us, that would be greatly appreciated. Richard was scouting around outside the police conference, and they took photos of him and posted on Facebook. It's clearly him. I'd like to see these photos. Oh, there we go.
So here's one. I believe this is over by the fire station. For the search. And it's hard to tell, but you've got the red cap with the white here, right? Okay, so then, hey. Where did the other one go? Hang on. Somehow I got both of the same picture. 1 second here.
Yeah, Randy said that's the fire station.
Okay, so let me get the other picture here. 1 second. I need this over here.
Jumpin' Jack Flash, that's another comment that Doug Carter was saying. He more than likely changed his appearance.
So now this is another picture that I was sent. This is over by where they were searching. So is this Richard Allen? We're not sure. But that's one of the things we're trying to verify is if this was if this picture is him or not.
Yeah, the FJB and all of the left wingers out there. That's why I believe that there's more than one person they're looking for when you said that the tip line's still open and the open investigation still. That's telling me that more than likely there's going to be another person involved. Like I said, they left the charging information wide open, saying that he necessarily is not the killer, but he was there when it took place. He fell under that criteria of either sexual assault, kidnapping, sex trafficking. He fell under one of those guidelines to get charged with murder.
Yep.
And you're right. He doesn't necessarily have to be the one that actually committed the crime, but if he's there.
And you're right, TTM fangirl. It could be that they went back and revisited old tips and files and came across something themselves that led them to Richard Allen. We don't know, because everything is speculation right now.
He was there to help with the drawing. Are you talking about that that note thing? It's got all the different names in there. And oh, by the way, if anybody's in our chat who's not a member of our channel, if you would like to become a member of our channel, please go to our YouTube channel and join. We have different tiers and levels of membership. We also have super stickers and super chats if you would like to donate to the channel, or you can just donate directly to our PayPal account. And I don't see we have any mods in here. And we don't have our PayPal account information.
I can get it.
Randy, join us, bud. 3 different tiers on the membership. Russian, aloha. I'm pretty sure Anthony Grillo's been keeping up with everything that's going on.
Ooh, interesting. Don't know. So in search warrants, they can tear up carpet.
Yep.
They can tear out
Cabinets, they can do anything.
Whatever else they need to collect evidence.
They can tear down your living room walls. If you got anything hidden behind the walls, they can do anything.
Leslie, thank you for being a first-time viewer here and watching us. Can you please email us information on this case? And we can look into it.
We already know about Nick McClellan. He is related to Becky Patty through marriage. I'm not sure where along the line who he's married to through Becky's family. From my understanding, this is what I was told. I don't know how true it is, that Nick McClellan's mother is married to, I believe, Becky Patty's ex-husband. I'm not positive on that, but that's what I was told. So take that with a grain of salt, guys.
That tells me him and his wife was at the search, and I think they may have been. I
did review some documents that we have. You know, I found 3 people with the last name Allen on the search party list.
Yes, but not his specific name.
Right.
But they may not have signed in.
Right.
So that tells me that more than and we know that family has been, we've heard that family has been all over this case since the beginning, trying to help solve it and get tips. So it does not surprise me that him and his wife would be there that day.
Nice to see you, Jackie Douglas. Nice for you to be. Nice to see you here. So
yeah, that's the Mears land right there.
When we were out there for the last walk back on October 29th, I did a video on my phone walking the trail from the bridge all the way to the crime scene, and I specifically demonstrated where the property lines were between the Mears and the Ron Logan's property was. So if I can ever get a chance to get this stuff uploaded, you guys can watch and you can see where the property line is. And I took a spill going down that ravine.
I think we all did at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, thankfully for Art and Hoosier Cold Cases.
Oh man, I'd have never made it back.
they were so helpful in helping everybody up and down those hills. It was amazing.
Who's your cold case?
Yes.
And if it wasn't for Art and a couple other people, it'd
Yes.
probably taken me about an hour to get back from the crime scene to the bridge itself. I'll learn that my lesson. It's like I said the last couple lives ago, guys. From now on, when there's testing, it's got to be done. And if you're with us, you young bucks are going to be doing it, because my old butt's not doing that crap no more.
Yeah. Forensics Lover, thank you so much for subscribing.
Cynthia Gaines, we got a new member.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. So let's get some of our chat members, some of their thoughts and things that they got going on in their brain, what they're thinking is going on. Anybody want to come into the chat or into the panel with us? If anybody's got any additional information that might be helpful or something we can look into, and I'll drop the link.
I got it.
Okay.
Yes, Acadian. A lot of times murderers do like to interject themselves.
Has anybody ever figured out the photo of Richard Allen's daughter on the bridge when that was taken? The reason why I'm asking is if it was after the murders had taken place, it could have been something that Richard did to relive what happened, being out at the bridge.
It's okay, Dee. You've got a life. We know. Thank you. Dee, if you could do us a favor and drop the PayPal link, we would appreciate it. I would think crossing the creek would not be part of the plan.
I don't think so either. I think it's possible that one of the girls started taking off running in that direction, and that's just where it ended up.
Right.
Okay, thank you, Pam. It was after 2018. It could be possibly that he was just having a moment and reliving the crime.
Could be. Thank you so much, Andre Toma, for the super sticker.
Yeah, Dee, we're asking if you would drop the PayPal link, please, in the chat. Thank you.
So there's photos of his daughter at her graduation, but then there's photos of his daughter at her wedding. So we're trying to figure out the timeline of all that.
I mean, if it was 2018, that's perfect timing for him to go out and relive the crime by taking his daughter out there to do pictures.
Right.
Because a lot of those kind of people do that kind of stuff. Like an arsonist. They'll set a house on fire and leave for about 10 minutes, and when the fire department shows up, they're back at the scene watching everything.
And one of the things that I did find out is that R.A.'s wife, Richard Allen's wife, likes to take pictures and videos, but post them much later on her Facebook. So that's why it's hard to determine exactly when this was done. There we go.
And there's one thing that I do want to mention to everybody in the chat. We don't know the circumstances about his wife, if she had any knowledge, or people speculating, well, she should have known that was her husband by the voice on the recording and things like that. If you people can do me a favor, until we get actual facts about the wife, if she had any knowledge or anything, please leave the woman alone. She's going through hell right now, and if it was any of you in our chat that's in her position, you wouldn't want to be bothered, harassed either. Let law enforcement handle it from here, and the truth will come out. If she actually knew anything, that'll come out. But for the time being, we just don't know, so please do not speculate that she knew anything.
Yeah. It is possible that she had an inclination that it could be him, but was in denial.
Right.
You know, I think that would be plausible, definitely. You don't want to believe that your husband did this.
I mean, you got to look at it this way too, guys. There's several creators and channels out there that have been bashing the family from day one. How would you like for you to be bashed for 5.5 years involving a case concerning a family member and come out later that the family had nothing to do with it? They had no ties to it. You guys got to think of it that way.
Yeah. And LML, you have obviously looked at some information. Not sure if this is true or not.
It is. He had a misdemeanor DUI charge.
But that's why we think he did have something to do with this catfishing. He was involved in the catfishing somehow. That's how he knew they were going to be there.
You guys will remember the transcript of Keegan Klein. They specifically told him, we knew it wasn't you. Who's the second user of the Anthony_Shots account?
Right.
They flat out told him. And I don't think that was a lie on LE's part, because we know they can try to manipulate you by lying to you to get information out of you. But I just don't believe that they lied about that. Because Kegan clearly denied, said, look, Libby was annoying to me, so I had to block her. If that's the case, who else was in contact with her?
And I think that the police just jumped to the conclusion that, I mean, we all know Tony Kline is not innocent in all this. But all the proof that the law enforcement have is against Keegan Klein. Keegan's phones, Keegan's this. So I think police just jumped to the conclusion that it was the dad. And that they had to go after that. They had to, absolutely.
Every lead that they get, they have to follow up with it.
But somewhere it turned, and recently it pointed them towards Richardallen.
And that's where we need to try to make the connection.
Right.
So,
Frank, can you take over for a minute? I have to go to the ladies' room.
All right. So, let me get some opinions from people. What is your thought process? What are you thinking? What scenarios are you guys looking at here? If I can get some people to give me some of their ideas and see if we could maybe tie these things together. Emily Ann, we would have to go back, M. Morgan, to the transcript because it has all that information in there when Emily Ann. See, a lot of people have been mentioning that Richardallen had a niece by the name of Emily Ann. You also got to understand that Tony Kline's nephew had a daughter by the name of Emily Ann also. So which Emily Ann was being used and by who? Yeah, love Tina. I totally agree. It's a pedophile thing, a pedophile ring that's going on. And I'm starting to wonder if it was something that wasn't supposed to happen. Maybe they were trying to sex trafficking or possibly a sexual assault, and it just turned sideways on the perps on this, and they had to get rid of the girls to keep their mouth shut. We just don't know. But there's all kinds of speculations and theories out there, so we just got to filter through each one of those and see which one makes sense and tie things together. And like I said, and I believe that's the reason why they're not releasing that probable cause at this time, because it's probably got information in there that might lead to another suspect, and they don't want to tip this suspect off. So it could be many different things why they're not releasing it. But it's awful strange that Becky Patty does not want the probable cause released. And the first thing that popped in my head is there a name in there that she does not want people seeing? We don't know. We're just going to have to wait until November 22nd. And yes, I am planning to go to that hearing on the probable cause. And if they do release it, best believe I'm not leaving that courthouse until I get my copy of it. Even though I'm pretty positive they're going to redact a lot of information out of there. So And yes, Mike, everybody's innocent until proven guilty. People got to remember that. You are innocent until proven guilty. Let's see. I'm trying to keep up with you guys here. Yeah, it's possible LL, he had yes, Freckle Joy, it is considered kidnapping. I don't believe a cult's involved in this at all. It's something personal. It's definitely something personal. What I mean by that, we don't know if Libby pissed somebody off or what the circumstances are. She could have pissed somebody off and they had to take her out. We just don't know. Alma, look, we've got to spend some time with Becky Patty on a personal level, and she is a great woman. And yes, she is somebody. That is pretty wrong to say that Becky Patty isn't anyone. Becky Patty is a human being just like the rest of us. That'd be like me saying you're a nobody, Alma. And that's just uncalled for. So please keep the tone down when it comes to the family. Everybody's a somebody, no matter your circumstances, your financial life, no matter what. Everybody's got a purpose on the face of this earth.
And she is someone because she was very special to Libby.
Yeah.
So to say that she isn't anyone is unfair because she was part of Libby's whole world.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, Randy, you can come on.
Yeah, Randy, come on up. So please, if you got negative comments or anything about the family, please do not post that stuff on our chat or discuss that. It's one of our rules, and we've been doing this since last February, and it's going to be a rule, and it will never be taken away as a rule. We do not downgrade other creators. We don't talk about other family members, just plain and simple. So please, if you have to, bite your tongue. If you got a comment or a question, you can email it to us, and we'll take it from there. But we will not discuss family members or anything like that in this chat.
I do want to say one thing about a family member. Okay. He's gotten a lot of flack, and that's Derek, Libby's dad.
Yeah.
He hasn't spoken. He doesn't talk to Becky Patty about it unless she specifically asks him a specific question. You've got to remember that this man probably has some PTSD from this. He has a lot of guilt towards this because he couldn't save his daughter and her friend. When he's ready to talk, he will.
Hold on a second.
Ready?
See, this is what we're talking about, guys.
Yeah,
we're not, look, guys, we're not going to have this in our chat. If she's money hungry, that is her. That's her. That has nothing to do with us. I mean, if you guys are jealous, confront her. Don't talk crap in a chat and not her seeing it, because I can guarantee you from the time that we spent with her, she'll put you in your place. There's no doubt. There is no doubt.
She is very honest with you.
Yep.
She's very forthcoming with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even afterwards, she said to me, she's like, I didn't know that you were, she messaged me a week later. I didn't know that you were friends with Julie Melvin. I would have had Cody tell you about his past personally.
And that's another thing about Cody. He is the coolest dude I ever met in my life. He is a nice guy, period.
He was there that day. He held her up
Yeah.
You know, he talked to us.
We got pictures with him. We sat and had great conversation at the bridge. Great conversations with him at the bridge.
And one of the things that she did say about the money is that they had so many donations coming in.
The bank wouldn't take it.
Yeah, the bank was like, you got to do something because we can't just keep holding this money. So that is when they started thinking about the ballpark and honoring the girls with the ballpark.
Yeah.
Well, she flat out told us, okay, we can use some of this money to build this ballpark. Well, then you start getting into the fine details and you realize, yeah, your daddy, you can be gone.
Bye, you daddy. You're out.
You look into the fine details and they start talking to other people who have built similar things and they're being told, oh no, this money that you've been given is not going to be enough. You're looking at over $1 million to do this.
Yep.
And so, I mean, they had a lot of things that they had to figure out. And now they do have a beautiful ballpark.
And one thing that came across to me about Cody, he seemed like a young man that's somebody you don't want to cross paths with in the dark alley. That's the impression I got from him. Same with Mike at the presser. When I was sitting there talking to him, I got the same feeling about him also.
The last I heard around the mill was R.A.'s wife went to high school with TK. Interesting. I wonder if we can verify that. Did I drop the link for Randy or did I forget to put it in?
Yeah, you dropped it. I don't know where he's at. He popped in and left again.
It's not that there was... Okay, so it's not that there wasn't too much money for the bank. It's the kind of account they had it in.
Yeah. They can only cover so much money with insurance through a bank. If you get past that amount, they can't cover it. So they were basically, well, look, you guys got to do something else with the rest of this money because we can't cover it on our insurance. So the way Cody was explaining to us, they wanted them to open up a GoFundMe. And Cody's like, I have no clue what the hell a GoFundMe page is. I've never done one. So you had to have Becky do it all.
And actually, no, I think the bank is the one that opened the GoFundMe for him. And then Becky had to take over and start figuring out how to do all this.
Yeah.
There was a question here. Hang on. Okay. Is it true the bridge was sold for $1 a while back? The bridge was sold. I don't know if it was for $1, but it was very cheap.
Where's Randy?
And it was sold to the trail committee or whatever. So it is part of the trail system. They just have to fix it.
Which I don't see that happening. I don't see them fixing that bridge for nothing.
Well, we'll see.
So, Randy, you still in the chat, or are you still having problems with your phone?
Rockaway, for so long, I did not have faith in law enforcement. It wasn't until this arrest was made that my faith was restored.
Now,
I just felt that it was taking too long and that they were holding too much information. And just like anybody else that's just coming into this case, you have a video of this guy on the bridge with his voice. Why can't you find him? That was my thought all along.
Remember when Tobe Lesenby said, I recognize that voice, he just didn't know where. And then once they arrested Richard, that's where he remembered hearing the voice because he got served at the CVS and Richard would help him. And that's where he recognized the voice from.
Tobe was in CVS all the time.
Yep.
The families were in CVS all the time.
Yep.
Barbara McDonald from HLN, every time she went to Delphi, was in the CVS buying items that she needed, because that's like their general store.
Yeah. Right.
Besides going to Lafayette for some of the bigger stores, if you needed something, that's where you went to get stuff.
Yep.
So many people had contact with him and never put it two and two together.
Right.
And yes, there is speculation that Cody lived very close to Richard Allen in 2006.
Like 2 or 3 houses down.
Yep.
As far as we know, Carol, we have not got any inclinations or anything about a snuff film. Even though it did say in Ron Logan's search warrant they believed that some type of material was recorded or pictures taken, there's just nothing that's been released to show that actually took place.
Right. Copper Horse, thank you so much for becoming a member. We appreciate it. Motive. Can we talk about motive? Your guess is as good as mine.
I think something went sideways when everything was going down.
Was it? Okay, so possible motives. Here we go. Sex trafficking due to the pedophile ring.
Mm-hmm.
Getting video and pictures in order to share under the deep web. Absolutely a possible motive. Opportunistic.
I don't see this being optimistic or whatever you want to call it. I don't see that.
They had to have known that the girls were going to be there that day. So it wasn't just a chance and an opportunity that it just happened. Absolutely not. What else is there, Frank?
Kidnapping.
Yep. Another motive is
sexual assault.
Did the girls see something that they shouldn't have seen or know something that they shouldn't have known? There's all kinds of motive that we can speculate on. We just don't know what it is right now.
And yes, we have seen that they're looking at Richard Allen also for the Evansdale murders. That's just being talked about. We don't know any of the, what's the word I'm looking for? We just don't know a whole much about that right now. Just put it that way.
Right. What if they find out they interviewed Richard Allen in the first week of the investigation and let him go? That happens all the time in these investigations.
Yep.
It's actually very common for the person to interject themselves into the investigation, and if they did interview him right away, he was laying a foundation of not being involved.
Right.
Like that most killers do. And
that's why Doug Carter said we're going back.
Right.
Going back. Because they knew they'd more than likely talk to him, but they just didn't know who it was. And I think they had their eye on him from 2019 on. They just didn't have the evidence to put against him to arrest him at the time.
This is a valid question. About Kelsey. Don't know that she's actually lying. So, when we were at the trails and we were talking to Becky, Kelsey took this very hard. She actually withdrew from the family for a very long time. She wouldn't talk to anybody.
Well, I noticed that at the presser when I was there, that the family sat to the left of us and Kelsey sat in the same row we sat in, but at the other end of the pew, away from the family. And we couldn't figure out why that was.
But so she she didn't talk to the family. She became very withdrawn. She was having terrible nightmares. She couldn't sleep in her own room. This girl was traumatized. We all know that our brains act differently when there's trauma. It's supported by scientific evidence. So when she did start talking and start opening up, there are things that she could have gotten confused and didn't speak on right.
And that's what I was explaining
I'm not
to everybody.
saying that, well, hang on. I'm not saying that's exactly what happened, but I don't think she purposely is lying about these things. There's things that have come out in her memory years later and could have contradicted what she initially said.
And that's why I was explaining to people before. I said, anybody out there in the world, who's going to remember word for word in a statement they made 5.5 years prior to that? I mean, a lot of us, you think about it, hell, we can't even remember what we said 24 hours ago.
Right.
Who's going to remember 5.5 years with exactly what was said and things of that nature? It's almost virtually impossible to remember word for word or anything that you said 5 years prior. And if you do remember word for word, you got one hell of a photographic memory.
Right.
So that's why I insist on people get off the family's back. Just get off their back. If there's something involving with the family, it'll come out. That is not our job to try to determine if the family's involved or not. Let LE determine all that.
And this is what has me worried. Okay. We have an arrest on Richard Allen. Okay. There's so many different theories and everything. People have said this is the person that did this. There's another creator that is convinced that a member of the Kokomo crew did this. She will state that. P.I. Jensen says he thinks Ron Logan was BG. All of these statements are going to hurt this case in one way or another. Because these people are coming out and saying it's absolutely this person or it's absolutely that person. That's why we've never had a POI on this channel and we've only thrown out theories. Because now all of this is going to cause reasonable doubt with the jury. Mm-hmm. Unless the prosecution can fully discount any of this. So that is why we have to be so careful.
And remember what Doug Carter said at the presser with Emily Longnecker of WTHR Channel 13 here in Indianapolis. He made it very clear. No one, and I'll say it again, no one has been cleared in this case.
Inquisitive Archivist, thank you so much for joining us. We just want to say, take a time out here. We're going to continue with our conversation, but we've got a lot of new subscribers, and we appreciate everyone, all of our subscribers that have been with us since the beginning, all of our new subscribers, welcome and thank you for joining us. Do you think R.A. was or is a serial killer?
That's something that's going to have to be questioned sooner or later.
Okay, what is the definition of a serial killer? Is it 3 or more? 2 or more? I guess I got to look it up, because depending on the definition, he could already be considered a serial killer depending on the number of victims.
Well, Tina, I get where you're coming from with this question, but once again, you have to go back to what Doug Carter said. No one has been cleared. They might have been covered, but they were not cleared. There's a big difference between being covered and being cleared. Big difference. See-through said 3 on separate occasions would be a serial killer.
Okay. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to change this. So a serial killer is a person who commits a series of murders, often with no apparent motive and typically following a characteristic, predictable behavior pattern. So right now, we do not have any information that he has committed a series of murders. Now, we had a question, what is the motive? It says right here, often with no apparent motive. So there technically there may not have been a motive. We don't know. There may not have been. And typically following a characteristic, predictable behavior pattern. So far, we do not have a pattern with him.
Somebody's asking about the carving in the tree. I'm getting ready to send you a picture of what allegedly was carved in the tree. You give me just a second.
Okay.
You can continue. I just got to look for it.
Sorry, I'm coughing here. I'm trying to find where we left off here. Hang on 1 second. Oh, it just jumped again. Okay, I found it. The FBI could be wrong. Yeah. And I do believe that. They're not going to clear anyone. Well, look at it this way. Once a conviction or convictions is made.
All right, I just sent you that to your messenger. This is the sign of Odin. This is what allegedly was supposedly carved into the tree at the crime scene.
Okay.
This is the letter F, which is a symbol for the Odinism. So this is what allegedly was carved into the tree. We don't know for facts if that's allegedly what actually happened, but this is what's been going around. This is the letter F. It's a symbol for Odinism.
Rockaway, that community has not felt safe in almost 6 years. I can tell you the number of times I've been at the bridge and at the trail, you rarely saw people walking the trail.
Yeah.
Now, this last time here, when we went on Saturday as a group and I went on Sunday by myself, there was so many people just walking the trail. It was like this arrest put a sigh of relief on the community, and they felt they could go out to that area that they loved and enjoyed being at because it is beautiful. We saw so many kids on the trail with parents and just individuals and people walking their pets, and you didn't see that for the past over 5.5 years.
You know what's so funny though is we had a couple ladies that were out there just walking. She wasn't even part of the get together or anything. They decided they were going to join our group and go to the crime scene and everything with us.
They asked me if we were a prayer group, and I said no, we're on a memorial walk for the girls. And I said we do this a few times a year, and we educate people on what happened and what we know and what we suspect, and we just talk things over, and they joined us, and we were more than happy to have them there.
Yeah. Randy said for some reason his phone's not allowing him to come up on panel.
Oh, okay.
Anybody want to come up on panel? Anything you guys got to say, or any thoughts or opinions?
And yes, Freckle Joy, a juror can know about the case. They just need to find people who haven't formed an opinion. which is going to be very hard.
Yeah.
They have to find people that will look only at the evidence and take everything they've heard about this case and throw it out the window and only look at the evidence. And then it's going to be very important when they pick that jury to make sure that the individuals, because I don't know how it is in Indiana.
I was a foreman in a jury one time.
But with the death penalty, is it majority? Or
yes, it has to be all 12 jurors have to agree.
It's got to be unanimous.
Yes.
That they would vote on the death penalty. So in past cases, especially with the Parkland shooter, though that prosecution team has to look at all those people in the jury pool and really question them about the death penalty also, because they have to pick people who will choose the death penalty.
Layla, I totally agree. My opinion is there will be a change of venue. Just when it's going to happen, we don't know. Oh, we got some new names in here again.
Yes. Wonderful.
Antifa, Connor Lyons. Well, I've seen Connor in here a couple times.
And we appreciate all of our new viewers. We hope you subscribe and join our membership. But we appreciate all of you because people are like, oh, we've got new people to the case. Well, you know what? Those are fresh eyes that can look at this case in a way that none of us who have been following it for years can. So if you hear that somebody's new to the case, welcome them with open arms, because it brings a different perspective that we may not see because we're so invested in this case.
Right. Pam, to answer your question, typically from what I've seen in the state of Indiana, when the prosecutor is seeking the death penalty, they'll go to the family and get their opinions on how they think of what they think of the death penalty and things like that. But typically it falls on the prosecutor. And I said, I placed a call to Nick McClellan last week and I still haven't heard back from him. So I doubt I will. Because I wanted to find that out myself. They were planning to seek the death penalty and things of that nature. Or if he was going to correct the charging information that's on my case where it was a $20 million bond. And he never got back with me, so.
Frank, is that the non-secular item I've talked about? It could be.
What, the symbol?
Yeah.
The symbol? Yeah.
Could be.
It's somebody made it perfect. They did it perfect in here. There was somebody that said something about the Odinism symbol. So I ain't really dug much into it just to find out what the symbol looked like. I don't really know what the meaning of it is or anything like that, but I do know it has something to do with Odinism.
Yes, I did go. It's not the first time that I've gone by myself on the trail. But on our Facebook group, there's a 2-part live after the memorial walk on Saturday. I felt bad because I didn't get a lot of footage for the viewers. So I started at the CVS in town, and I actually recorded my trip going through town to the Freedom Bridge parking lot and walking the whole trail. The girls must have been with me, or God was with me, because for some reason that is the only day that I was able to live stream from the parking lot all the way to the bridge and back.
Let me tell you something. The times I've been out there, I didn't leave the house without Lucille. There was no way I was going out there knowing that I'm a YouTuber and some of those people out there don't like the YouTubers, and I wouldn't take no chance. You're welcome, Cynthia. Thanks for the super chat.
There are some similarities with Evansdale. Yes, there is. If it's not the same killer, could it be a copycat? Well, Evansdale happened a long time before Delphi. We're looking at twice as many years for that case. So we don't know. Negan's bad. Oh, you're muted. You have to unmute.
Yeah, my Lucille Egyptomania is my 40 caliber Smith & Wesson. It's always on my hip when I leave the house. And I definitely wouldn't go to Delphi without it. And I mean, it's hard for me to say. The couple times that I've been out there to Delphi, it's peaceful and everything, but I still do not trust anybody in the city of Delphi. I just don't.
Linda says, hello, I'm here for the second time, man, loving both of you, and am so pleased with the way you're keeping the chat, as well as not allowing bullcrap. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ms. Campbell.
So is it unanimous in all states for the death penalty? I wasn't sure.
I really couldn't answer that question either.
I wish they would go back to majority. I think that was the better way to do it versus unanimous.
Somebody made a comment in here that he's going to plea bargain out. The prosecutor determines that. He could say, no, I'm not taking a plea bargain, or we could discuss a plea bargain, one of the two.
Let's see here.
Randy, only thing I know is Indiana and Colorado have the death penalty. There's 30-something states in the United States that have the death penalty.
Every time I try to scroll, it jumps on me and I lose my spot. No, murder trials are not televised in Indiana.
No.
That has been a big thing in Indiana. No televised trials.
One of the biggest cases that I know of here in the last 15 to 20 years was an Indiana State trooper who was arrested for killing his wife and 2 kids. And he went through 3 trials, and none of them were televised. None of them.
Can somebody tell me where you found the information about the F on the tree? That information was sent to us from someone.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who it was.
Who's using Ron Logan as their name? Really?
We will do some research on Odinism and we'll do a live on it. Because a lot of people don't know what it is and they're interested and just curious.
Odinism is part of the pagan religion. That's all I can say. That's as much as I know.
Hey, Grismatically Clever. Just want to say thank you for our new intro.
Yeah, that's badass, bro. Appreciate it. You and Tech Deck are doing some wonders for us right now, guys. Much appreciated.
All right, let's see here.
Freckle Joy, my girlfriend next door, she's a witch also. but she's one of the good witches. We're not going back to Wizard of Oz, the Wicked Witch of the West. She's not one of those.
I still don't understand why the two girls were allowed to go to that location without a chaperone. It was common for them. So the kids, that's the thing, is in that area, there's nothing
for them
a lot
to
of
do.
places, there's nothing for the kids to do.
Nope.
So the parks and the trails and everything, that's where they went. Especially since Libby was into photography. She loved taking pictures there. Becky said she took so many pictures there. They went and did the geocaching there. Nobody ever thought anything like this was ever going to happen in this area. You never do. But this was common for teenagers to go to these places, hang out with their friends, enjoy the scenery, have picnics with their families, do bike riding, jogging. I mean, that's what this place was all about.
It's more of a sightseeing area, basically. It's beautiful out there if you get into the country roads and see all the wood lines and things in that nature. It's real beautiful out there.
Grandma Rox thanks you for your concern. Frank is doing good. He did lose his mom this past week, and he's okay. He's dealing. So
I'm doing a lot better than a lot of people thought I would, but basically I became the patriarch of the family, and now I've got to be the strong one for all the younger siblings and everything. So that's what I'm doing right now, not knowing what's going to happen the day that we may lay my mom to rest. But right now, I'm doing real good, guys. I've made peace with my mom not being here anymore. We knew that this time was coming. We just didn't know when. It wasn't a shock to me. It's just the fact it was my mother. Even though me and my mother haven't been real close in the last few years, but we made peace with each other back last Saturday. So,
yeah. But there's some lack of sleep going on, and with Frank's military background, he does have some health issues, so he is a little bit paler than normal right now. But
just a lot of stress. Just dealing with the family thing right now. I mean, I'm not a very emotional person. Marv's seen it for probably the second or third time yesterday. We were StreamYarding each other and getting our show prepared for the day, and I just lost it. I had just completely lost it. And I think I finally got it out of me that she's at peace now. So that's all I can do is just be there for everybody else. My mom always said, through all the years of all the funerals and things that we've been to and had to go to with family members, it's never a goodbye. Never a goodbye. Mom will always say, she'll say, I'll see you later, or I'll talk to you later. And that's just the way I got to look at it, because I know that I'll be back with her someday. So,
yeah.
But otherwise, she had a good life, guys. That's all that matters.
Yep. And Rose, I don't know where you got your information from, but Abby had been to that area many times, even with her mom. They lived not far away from there.
Yep.
And Anna had already said that if Becky gave permission for the girls to go out there, that was fine with her. She just did not want Abby to cross that bridge. And Abby did it anyway. So, but it is false that Abby had never been there. She had been there before.
I want to answer this question for Mrs. Thang. A lot of people didn't know this, but from the information I got, the FBI was at the presser. They were undercover.
That's what I've heard too.
They were undercover. So you guys got to be careful what you're saying on these YouTube or your Facebook groups or whatever, because I know for a fact that they're undercover in these Facebook groups too. I know that for a fact.
Yes.
I know one individual who is one, and she's using another name under a Facebook group. So yes, the law enforcement is in these groups, guys. So be careful what you're saying and putting out there.
But all right, we have been on almost 2 hours, and like I said, I do have a time limit today.
She gonna go get her drink on. She gonna get her drink on.
No, I'm gonna go eat some good food. I want
to get her drink on. She's got margaritas waiting on her.
Ooh, that sounds good. That or a daiquiri.
Derek, SP74, Derek showed up at the trails around 3:15-ish, somewhere in there. And if you want to get technical about it, they were saying that he was there as the crimes were being committed, because you got to remember, they said the girls were both taken out by 3:30. So, but we do want to say that we appreciate everybody who has jumped in our chat, who has joined our channel, subscribers, members. Once again, if you're not a member, if you want to become a member, please jump over to our YouTube channel and push the join button. We got 3 different tiers that you can join. So
just want to show you, if you're on Android, you can click the join button right here, or
if you want to go ahead and click on it just to show the different prices on there.
It's under each video. If you are on an iPhone, Google it. That's the best way that I can say anything to help you join. You have to go to a certain view on your phone or iPad to be able to join. Google it right in YouTube. You'll get a video. It'll show you how to do it. I'll also post that one of the videos right on here.
Hey, Joe, if you've got a laptop or a PC, you can do it that way too. Just go to our YouTube channel and you'll see the join button right there.
I was told that it's easier to join if you have an iPhone via computer or a tablet versus the phone. We don't want you to go. Well, we don't want to go either, but
Notre Dame football.
I've got other obligations. Frank has to watch football. And we're going to be back soon.
Who's a Colts fan in here? I know Marv, she's a cheesehead. So who thinks, what does everybody think of Jeff Saturday being hired as an intern coach for the Colts? I want to see this. Hey, Joe, when are you going to come out to Greenwood and perform at the Emporium out here, man? It's a lot closer to me than having to drive to Plainfield. You like the Giants, Grizz? Go on somewhere with that.
Hey, be nice to my members.
All right, they're my members too.
I'm a Packer fan. Thank you. Packers.
They're just as bad as Colts right now.
This year.
Yeah, they're just as bad as we are.
Yeah.
Hey, Randy commented. He said Jeff Saturday will be a good coach.
Oh.
And the Vikings are looking tough this year in mystery.
So one of the things that I can say is if you're new to the channel, go back and watch some of our older videos. There was actually some really good videos that we did on the Delphi case. Lots of information given, lots of theories given. Like on your way out, please. So a lot of people ask us, how can we support your channel if we can't join a membership? It's really simple. So when we do lives or videos and you're watching the replay, don't fast forward through the commercials. The commercials, the ads, are what give us revenue on our channel. Go grab something to drink or something to eat and just let the ad play through. That's the number one way that you can help support our channel. Like the videos with the thumbs up. That helps with the algorithm.
And also, Marv learned how to do shorts yesterday or a couple days ago. Check out the shorts because that helps the channel tremendously.
So I'll be putting more shorts out now that I figured out how to do them. Another way that you can help support our channel is just be in the chat and interact with us.
If you got information, that might be helpful, whatever.
Send it to us.
Yeah. If you want to discuss it on a live, we're more than happy to let you on the panel to discuss things with us. We're not shy, guys. Not at all.
Share the videos with your friends.
We like to interact with our chat members and our subscribers and our members, period. So,
yeah. So money it's not all about money for us.
No, it's not.
We appreciate those that can join the membership, support the channel. We appreciate the super stickers and the super chats and the PayPal donations. Don't get me wrong, it helps with travel expenses and stuff. When I go to Indiana and when Frank needs equipment, in the future, it's really going to help us help these families that need it, that we're going to be advocates for, like the Tabitha Shuck Reigns. So money does help in that way, but we're not all about money.
We do not pay our bills. We do not pay our bills or anything with the money that's donated to our channel. The money directly goes back into the channel.
Right. So, we just appreciate all of you for being here with us. So that's how you can help support us. And then when merchandise comes, if you want to buy some merchandise, we do get a little bit from that.
Look at Freckle Joy.
My goodness.
Broke bits right now.
Yeah. You know how that is.
Hey, how did you like? I'm not too fond of it. How did you like that the Democrats are sweeping all these states in these elections after everybody wanted Biden out of there?
That's a different topic for another time. I don't like talking politics at all. I get mad.
Thank you, AP. Much appreciated for this comment, buddy.
Yes. We try our best. We've learned
our lesson putting information out there that we couldn't verify and things like that. So now we're taking a cautious approach to everything now. So, and that's why we haven't do lives like everybody else, because it seems that all these other channels, no disrespect to them, because we love Sleuth, we love Sunny, some other channels too, but it seems like they're just covering the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over. And so our approach is if there's something that comes out that nobody's covered, that's what we're going to do. With what information we got, we'll do what we got to do. But damn, Freckle Joy, $2,200 a month for a house payment. Woo!
Ouch!
Ouch! That's what happens when you live on the West Coast.
Yeah. So we'll be back. We don't just do a live to do a live and rehash everything.
Right.
When we have information and stuff, we'll give it out. But like I said, if you all weren't here in the beginning,
we're working on a big case right now.
Tabitha Shuck Reigns, Binder 1. Tabitha Shuck Reigns, Binder 2. Tabitha Shuck Reigns information that has to go into binder 2. And then there will be a binder 3 because I still have to print out more information. So once that case starts firing, it's going to be a lot.
It just shows the dedication that we have into these cases. When we're putting binders together and things like that, that shows that we are really deep researching and diving into things.
So thank you all for being here with us. We appreciate it. We love you. We love and appreciate all the support that you give us.
Yes, very much so. But we'll be back within the next couple days. So we want everybody to have a great weekend. Be safe out there. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I love saying that.
Yeah.
And it's Notre Dame football time, guys. Everybody root on them Irish. They made it into the top 20. But otherwise, guys, you know what time it is. It's 1:57 p.m. Saturday afternoon. You know what that means. It's time to peace out. One love to everybody. Love everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll be back soon.
Yep. Take care, everybody.